what's going on, guys? Lars and Money, welcome back to another video where today, guys, I'm joined by three very special guests in the fourth Creator Collaboration podcast, where today, guys, we're going to be talking about a range of different things, and these special guests are...
MagnusRobert, hello.
DT, hello.
And NuclearVideosHD, hey, what's going on?
It's really cool to have these guys on my channel, pretty much for the first time. And the first thing we're going to be talking about today is some of the Halloween predictions that we're hoping they're going to come. And after this, we're going to be talking about all the updates that have been happening the last couple of months. But yeah, let's get started then. So I'm sure, as everyone knows, that Halloween is very close by. It's probably about a week or so from now it will come. I don't personally have any ideas what I want to come to the game of Halloween, but I'm sure everyone else does. So I'm just gonna let them say their ideas.
So yeah, I'll go first. So there isn't many things I want to see. Well, the thing with Halloween is I think a lot of the main things have already been added. The big things, I think, the major things that we wanted to see. But there's still quite a few things that I think could be added. One thing I'm kind of want the most is the fly bar. I'm not sure, I reckon they could probably make this into an actual character, because it is an actual character because it's Bart and it's the fly's mine, so it's not actually Bart. It could be a costume, I guess. But I think a good costume would be the Jack in the Box Homer, because
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool to see. In terms of ideas, it's just like a theme, like because last time they had the whole like movie thing, didn't they?
Yeah.
Which is a bit weird, but where there was like, but it was a bit like all a bit thrown together, just random stuff. I think in terms like the act structures, how they usually do with like say Destination Springfield, where they had like the different countries as different acts. I don't think they can really have something that good, like that well structured. I don't think it's going to work. But yeah, there is quite a few different things I would like to see. I kind of want to see the woman who sort of, is she the one with the fortune teller shop thing?
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, that woman. And then there's also the guy who sold the monkey paw. The monkey paw would actually be an interesting thing they could possibly do, I guess, if they were to do like town wishes. But another thing I think that they could do for Halloween is actually just raise dead characters. So they do some sort of like raising the dead. Maybe that could be an act.
That'd be pretty cool.
Maybe that could be a specific act where we could get maybe Snowball 1 and some of like dead characters, maybe like some of the dead like maybe Marge's dad, maybe they could probably do that. I don't know though, but that's what I would kind of like to see. Something like that would be interesting. Just anything from that kind of massive ideas. So
yeah, pretty cool.
So Dylan?
Yeah, well, Halloween actually has been one of my favorite events in the game, like because it was when I started, and I really enjoy Halloween because it brings the whole theme of Halloween in nicely, because we get the whole spooky effect in the game, the animations, and I always like getting new characters, like the likes of Marshmallow, all these kind of guys, unique characters that you wouldn't get any time of the year, and Halloween is like one of my favorite times of the year, so the event suits me down to the ground. I just hope that it lives up to expectations again this year, and they bring in something new. Of course, we'll have different currency again, and I can't even remember last year's currency or the year before, so don't even get me started on that. But yeah, I really love Halloween actually. Simpsons does Halloween really, really well, and I'm actually a really big fan of Halloween. It's probably my second favorite event, or maybe even the first. It's between that and Christmas, but Christmas last year screwed it up, so Halloween was number one last year, right?
Yeah, I can agree on that. Yeah.
The Halloween event was way better than the winter event.
Yeah, last year was alright for Halloween.
I mean, we're always going to have premium items outnumbering, but I think the things like the Raven and characters like that, and Burns Monster, but there were certain currency in donuts, but I think it's worth investing in them if you have the donuts, because I mean, you'll have it like for the future, and I'm sure in regards to this year's event they'll be returning, right?
Yeah.
So expectations is I'm sure EA will keep it up as well as they have every other year. So that's what I'm thinking.
Great, cool.
Alright.
Alright, so yeah, so I guess I'm up next. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as Ted. I don't really have much speculation. I mean, yeah, same what Magnus said. They've pretty much covered all the basic stuff that has to do with Treehouse of Horror altogether. I mean, there's little bits of stuff that I hope that they add. Like I hope that they finally give us the Gremlin as a character.
Yeah.
I don't if you guys remember him. He was just kind of one of those characters that was placed in your town by your neighbors who ran around. So I mean, it'd be so easy for them to implement him as an NPC. So I'd like to see that. I don't know if you guys remember the one Treehouse of Horror episode where I think Bart died and they replaced him with like a robot kid. You guys remember that episode?
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be cool to have him as a character. As for who we're gonna be tapping, I guess the tappable enemy for this event, I have no idea. It'd be kind of cool to have them bring back like maybe like Act 1 would be zombies, Act 2 would be ghosts, Act 3 would be aliens, kind of like a mix of all of the previous events would be pretty cool. I just hope that we have a normal Halloween event, something that has all of the aspects of Halloween. You know, I don't want to get some like watered down version or some abstract
like
concept of Halloween. Yeah, like exactly like winter. That's what I want to avoid. I want to have something that's traditional, basically, is what I'm saying. You know.
Another one, if I don't mind, just quickly saying, two characters is Einstein and Shakespeare. How they were both zombies.
Yeah, that would be good. Do you guys remember that version of Homer where his head is a donut?
Oh yeah, that's another costume.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool to have.
The problem is that was like literally right at the end of the episode. It didn't really play much of a part, so I don't know if they. It feels like something they'd make an animation instead, which would be pretty crappy. Because that would actually be a cool costume.
Yeah.
True, but you can argue that a lot of the stuff that gets added into Tapped Out is like end of episode throwaway stuff.
Yeah.
Like for instance, like the those future costumes for not costumes. I think they're actually separate characters, but the future version of Mr. Burns and Smithers, that was like just a weird part of that one episode, and they made them full characters. So
yeah.
You know. But yeah.
Good work.
Right. So I just want to very quickly say, if anyone's confused why this is episode 4, I mean the people who are watching, if anyone's confused why this is episode 4 and where the other 3 episodes are, just want to quickly say that all the other 3 episodes are on everyone else's channel. What we've been doing, like each couple of months, when updates come out, we just make separate videos on each other's channels, and we get together and basically do it like that. I think the first video was on DT's channel, the second was on Robert's channel, then the last one was on Nuke's channel. The last update we talked about was the Pride update, wasn't it? Since then, yeah.
Krustyland as well, we talked about.
Yeah. But since the Pride update, there's been like 5 updates, I think, or 4 maybe. So yeah, we're going to be talking now about the Superheroes Return updates, then the Stunt Cannon / the Homerpalooza music update, because they're kind of one thing, the County Fair update, and there's also one that I don't think we're really going to cover because it's only literally came out like a couple of hours ago, and that's the episode tie-in called the Serfsons episode tie-in. Yeah, that only recently came out today. I know Nuke has not yet made a video on that, so he doesn't actually know what's yet included. But yeah, I guess we can get started and talk about the Superheroes Return update. So yeah, I'll go first once again. So this was a bit of a weird update. It wasn't bad. It wasn't your traditional mini update. It was more of a mini update. It was pretty small, but I like the flow of it. I don't really like mini updates when you have to send characters on jobs to go to buildings and all the currency and stuff. I don't really like mini updates like that, but this one was okay. We got one character, which is a bit of a shame, Senior Ding Dong and his van. He's a pretty cool character, I guess, good to have. But the big problem about this update, I think we can all agree that we can have so much more. Like, I know a lot of people wanted Superheroes 3, but this was kind of EA's way of kind of doing that, but they just called it Superheroes Return. chucked in some random things. We got a couple of buildings or something, did we? Got some decorations. I kind of forgot, but I think the problem overall with this is that they could have added so much more stuff, but they didn't. I remember seeing Robert's video on the ideas for Superheroes 3, and I'm sure when it comes to his turn in a minute, he's going to give you some ideas and stuff what should have come but didn't. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've got to say on it. Yeah.
But I sort of disagree with the fact though that you said that they could have added more, because like although they could have, I think it might be better if they keep it as an annual little thing. Like
Yeah.
if they don't make this annual, then I agree they should have added more stuff in the Superheroes Returns. But if it's going to be annual, I think that I actually like the way they're doing it.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I think a mini event would be a bit too big. And plus, I don't know how they'd make that even interesting. Like this, like you called it, a mini event. I think that's probably a better format, because there are other characters. For example, the Human Fly. He's the guy who climbing. He just climbs this big tower.
Yeah.
He's trying to get attention. He's just an attention seeker. Like he would be a decent potential. There's also the Everyman Homer costume. That's a pretty good one they could add. And there's actually a film studio that the film studio he comes from. Oh, I don't know. But there was a film show. Yeah, the film studio he's from, because the other film studio that we got in Superheroes 2 is actually a different one. So, yeah, but they could come with that. And there's also like the Everyman Homer villains, like this big lizard guy. Maybe they could add him as an NPC.
Okay.
So there is a few, and also possibly they could add the old folks. Like all the old folks have like a costume. One of them is actually Alice Glick. She has like essentially a Flash parody costume.
Okay.
And it could be interesting if they actually gave us Alice Glick through the next Superhero Return, and then they gave us like a double deal where you got her costume as well.
Okay.
Like, that could be interesting.
Yeah.
But I think overall though, I'm sort of getting off topic in terms of the actual superhero stuff. But I think overall I did like Senor Ding Dong. I think he is a really interesting character, really cool character, probably one of the best characters, I think, in my opinion anyway, that we've got, who's not like a B-list, C-list character like Bleeding Gums Murphy, for example, and Mary Spruckler. Like he is like a side character, but he's like an amusing character. I think we can all agree. And then the other stuff wasn't too memorable. I mean, obviously you got his van, and you got his store, and you got the pie truck. Just a bunch of miscellaneous stuff that they sort of threw in there. But I think overall it's pretty good. And if they do make it annually, then I will overall be satisfied with it. If they don't make it annually, then I would have said it was a bit just random, really. But anyway, sorry, I've waffled on for quite a bit there, so I'll hand it over to DT.
Yeah, I guess so. Leading on from your point, Magnus, was if they do make it an annual thing, which I think would actually be really appropriate, because I mean, with all superhero movies, well, at least with the big ones, it's sort of like a franchise. Starting 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? So if they make it like that, I think it would really be appropriate, and I really like that idea. And they get things like the content you get, like Kane Manor. I like the detail into that. That was one of my favorite buildings. Then you get things like Springfield Asylum, which goes with the whole superhero team. Like, oh, he's mental and he's turned into this villain, and it's really cool. I think they should. This is a major suggestion, and I think they should make it annually, because it's like a franchise, basically a series. So yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Nice. So, yeah. So, I mean, I see what you guys are saying about making it a yearly event or annual event. I'm not sure if my opinion is the only one here, but I'm kind of sick of the superhero events. I mean, they were good, but I think like an annual one, personally, I would get tired of it really fast. Especially since, like, I get what you guys are saying about all the franchises and stuff for superheroes, but you have to remember this is like Simpsons, and there wasn't all that much superhero stuff added. Like right now, if they did do a third installment of a superhero event, I feel like we would get a majority of just costumes and not a lot of brand new characters. So, I mean, Don't get me wrong, it'd be fun no matter what, but I feel like it's a little overplayed. As for the superheroes return event, well, not even an event, just like a little mini update, like you guys said, but it was all right. I liked it. I mean, they should have. I mean, they should have called it the Pie Man update, is what I was gonna say. But then I remembered we got Senor Ding Dong, because a lot of the update revolved around pie stuff. I mean, they had the pies for guns stall, and they had the pies and explosives, and I guess that was kind of it for the pie stuff. But it was centered around the Pie Man theme a little bit more than just a generic superhero event. And I mean, obviously there was the Senor Ding Dong and his truck and his store. But as for what we actually got, looking at what we got content-wise rather than what the update was, it was really good. For a mini update, there was not a single thing we got that I was kind of like, oh, this is kind of a waste. I liked the pie explosives. I liked the guns for pies stand. I liked the Senor Ding Dongs a lot, and I liked him as a character and his van as well. So it was a pretty good update, and I think that they should do small updates like that a little more often because they're quick, they are full of just new content, and it's kind of just like a filler, but I don't mind that it's a filler, if you know what I'm saying. It's like you can just buy all the stuff and be done with it and not have to worry about, because I know like a lot of players have a lot of pressure on them to like check in every single day or hourly even to make sure that they get everything for an event that's currency based, where they have to get all the content before it leaves, whereas this is just you log in, you can buy what you want, and then you move on with your day. So I mean, I like events like that. I mean, obviously I like a whole assortment of different stuff, but I particularly like little events like that just because they're short, sweet, and to the point. Speaking of, I'm sure we're going to talk about the Stunt Cannon update next. That was a little bit too short for me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you guys thought about it, but it was kind of stupid. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give you guys my opinions after you guys go, but just kind of a transition here.
Yeah.
So you want to
Here we go. Do you want to say something?
No, I was just saying. Are we going to move on then?
Yeah, we'll move on. So yeah, the Stunt Cannon update. Like Nuke said, it's a bit random, but it was technically a spoiler for the Homerpalooza music update. It kind of talked about the cannon was for Homer during the Homerpalooza thing, but yeah, it was a little bit random. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Stunt Cannon itself is all right. I think we got like an animation for Homer, which it's okay. It's a little bit, but it was a little bit random though. I'm sure we can all say, but it's separate updates. Well, it's a bit of a stupid name, the Stunt Cannon updates, but I guess we can move on from that because that's pretty much it's just a Stunt Cannon at the end of the day. I guess we can move on now to the big one, and that is the Homerpalooza music update. So yeah, overall I love this update. It wasn't the best update of the year, but it's one of the best. I mean, first of all, the splash screen looked awesome. Like even before I played it like the splash screen looked amazing. I can't wait to log in and play. We've got a lot of good characters in this update, of course, one of which we're very excited to get. Bleeding Gums Murphy. I'm sure our faces just went really. I was really happy when we got Bleeding Gums Murphy because we've been wanting him for years, really. So it was amazing when we got him. We've got little costumes, what is good because I'm not a big fan of costumes. The buildings we got weren't too bad. The acts were a bit weird. Act 1 was really good. The whole event started off really good. Act 2, however, just for me, I don't know. Act 2 was a load of rubbish. Then Act 3 was a little bit better, but still not the best, really. Overall, I think this update was pretty good. I liked how each act had different genres of music. I think that was a really good idea. But Act 1 was probably the best because we got the best stuff, I think, from Act 1. But yeah, that's pretty much my views on the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I probably mostly agree with that. I think I really did like the structure. That was probably a big thing. Like, I
Yeah.
think a lot of the times, what can really make or break an update is the structure. For me, anyway. It is the content as well. Like the big two are characters and the structure. Like, if there's no good characters, then it's not going to be a very rememberable update. And of course, Bleeding Gums Murphy kind of sorted that out straight away. Like just Bleeding Gums Murphy made the update, but then they also added like Leon, the Michael Jackson.
That was good,
cameo, whatever you want to call it. I forget his second name, but Leon. We also got Alaska Nebraska, who honestly I think is a bit of a flat character.
Yeah,
that's
wasn't
where,
bad
where I agree with the pop thing not being as good. LT Smash I think was pretty good. He's an okay character. And then in terms of the rap, like Alcatraz, I honestly don't care for too much. The Cletus costume is okay, but it's not amazing. So I mean, yeah, I would agree that Act 1 was definitely way better. I think another big problem for me is the quest line for Act 2 and Act 3 seemed very short. It just seemed like they kind of half-assed it really, like they couldn't be bothered with it. Which is a bit disappointing, because I've only really recently even got into the quest lines. I used to just skip them all, but now I'm actually reading them because it's another phase, it's part of the story.
Yeah.
What else? Yeah, the characters, the buildings. I mean, hey, the buildings are alright. I think buildings are the thing we're going to run out of pretty soon. But just quickly, I just wanted to mention the Stunt Cannon. I think, not really about that, but I think they're going to make this whole spoiler thing an actual thing for each update now.
Yeah.
They're going to do that for each big update, they're going to do that. But yeah, splash screen was awesome. The animations were awesome. Characters were awesome. Buildings were okay. Costumes were okay. But yeah, overall, I would say it's probably. I would say it's better than the Secret Agents, and I'd probably say it's better than the. Definitely better than the Time Traveling Toaster. So, but I don't think it's as good as Destination Springfield.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, no way. It's way up there. Actually, I don't know. It was still pretty good though. It definitely exceeded my expectations. But anyway, D2.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was like the third or the fourth major event of 2017, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Fourth.
Yeah.
Fourth,
yeah.
I think it was a pretty cool event. Like it was something different again, and I always like when EA add these different type of events to the game. But I really like that splash screen. I really thought it was sort of really an artistic sort of splash screen compared to anything else we've ever gotten before. That was the first impression that it made on me. And of course, it's a music event, and it's something different. So anything like that, I'm completely on for. And I actually like the characters and all the different sort of buildings we got with it. I think it was new, but of course we had different currencies again. And I remember the first currency was drums, wasn't it?
Yes, I think it was.
Drumsticks, I think.
Yeah,
something like that. But anyway, it doesn't really matter because I think there's overall, like if you think about it, there's been something like over 20 major events in the game, and if you consider 3 acts per event, at least 15 of those, and you got like a different currency for each act. Anyway, I'm not going to go on, but I'm only saying you have a lot of different currencies, so we can't really remember. Anyway, one of my favorite buildings anyway was one of my favorite buildings of that event definitely had, it's not really a building, but I really like the rock stage, which sort of was the foundation.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I think from there it brought on the rest of the event. I thought it was a really, really great event. So yeah, that's my opinion.
All right, yeah, I guess I'll start with a Stunt Cannon update.
Sure.
I mean, serving from a spoiler point of view, kind of like a promotion event, it was not bad. It did its job. I mean, if you're going to judge it to the same standard as you would any other event, it'd be kind of unfair because of how small it was. So if we just look at the fact that it was meant only to be really a promotionary event, then it really wasn't that bad. I mean, everybody knew that it was from the Homerpalooza episode, so it did its job in kind of getting everybody hyped for Homerpalooza. It didn't have much to do with music, so I was kind of confused as whether or not it would be a music event. I mean, obviously, Homerpalooza was a music kind of themed episode, but I figured for an update based all around music, you'd figure you'd get more of like a musical promotion, but I mean, that's just a minor thing. But I mean, the Stunt Cannon overall was pretty nice. But yeah, that's all there really is to mention about that. So as for the music event, it was okay. it's not really my kind of update. I mean, I'm trying to find the best way to put this. I tend to not like events that are based off of things like this. Like, I really like the monorail event because that was kind of an expansionary event. I really like the holiday events, and I like the around the world event. Like, it's really content based. This one was more about the characters and the story, I think. There was just a lot of extra stuff. Like, it didn't really focus on the buildings all that much, really. I mean, we got a lot of major buildings. Well, not really major, but a lot of big ones that really were left in the lurch here. I mean, we got Alcatraz's mansion, which hardly got mentioned. The New Bedlam Rest Home, which hardly got mentioned as well. Same with like the Gold Record Studios and Quitters and Jazzy Good Times. They really just were kind of just there. The only buildings that were really focused on were the stages, and they definitely were cool. But I mean, I'm gonna have a hard time finding places for this stuff to decorate after. And as somebody that really prides himself on his town, that's kind of like an important thing to me. The characters were also pretty bland as well. The only really good characters I can say that I'm glad we got were Bleeding Gums Murphy. I'm really glad that we got Weird Al Yankovic. That was a nice surprise. And probably Leon Kompowski.
Yeah.
So those were probably the best characters. I mean, the rest of them were kind of forgettable. I mean, Alcatraz and Rachel Jordan and LT Smash and even Alaska, Nebraska to an extent were pretty memorable from the show. I mean, not as memorable as the characters I mentioned before, but I mean, all those other characters, the ones that were in the rock band, Shredder Stevens, Freddie Freeman, you know, those guys, they are as unmemorable as it gets. Like, to this day, I can't even remember most of their names. You know, they were from an episode that was relatively new that a lot of people probably don't have much sentimental value with. So, you know, it was cool to have the whole band as characters and stuff, but not really memorable, not really something that a lot of people are going to really stick with. Now, the one thing that I think really saved the event in a way was the fact that we got Flaming Moe's as a skin. I've been waiting for that for a really long time. Another thing that was really good about the event was the fact that we had Praiseland. That was really cool.
Yeah, but again, it's another Krustyland thing that would have been better in Krustyland.
Yeah, true.
Oh, yeah, of course. That's definitely a true point. I mean, of course it would have been better over in Krustyland, but I'm just glad that we got it in general. And probably the thing that saved it the most, in my opinion, was it had really good crafting items. It was stuff that is what craftable items are supposed to be about. Like, in my opinion, craftable items aren't supposed to be really flashy items. They're supposed to just be generic stuff that you can use to decorate your Springfield to celebrate the event. And this is exactly what we got. We got the like the stage turret, we got the festival fences, we got the pig balloon, the skylight, the laser light, the smoke machine, the cheering crowd, all those concert lights and speakers and stuff. And that, in my opinion, is what the craftable items are supposed to be about. I don't necessarily like when they just give us a bunch of random stuff that don't really have to do with any kind of standard concept. That's why you see a lot of the crafting items from previous events. They're just kind of generic, like potted plant or, you know, speaker or something like that, you know? And I think that this update definitely hit the nail on the head with their craftable items. So that's pretty much all I had to say in regards to that. Oh, also, I do like the NPC characters that we got for the event. I'm glad that they decided to give us those. That was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, actually, I do have one more thing. So sorry. I like Weird Al Yankovic as a character, but I didn't necessarily like his whole prize track.
No.
I
true.
covered his prize tracks. Yeah, I covered his prize tracks in separate videos just because I didn't want to leave my followers kind of like in the dust, not knowing what was going on. But it was really pointless to make a video about that because you pretty much the only good thing about his prize track was the third prize in Act 1, which was him. And then after that, it was kind of pointless. And just now that I remember, you said that you felt that the quest line for this update was really weak. And I do agree with that 100% because this is probably the first update where the prizes actually had to do with the quest line. If you know what I'm saying, like part of the quest line was actually unlocking prizes.
I noticed
whereas usually you go through and you complete the quest line and then you do the prizes. And that's why this was the only update where my Act 2 series for the update only had one part, because I was able to literally cover everything that had to do with Act 2 in one like 10-15 minute video, which was really crappy. And that's probably because the quest line had to do with unlocking most of the prizes.
And I think Weird Al actually kind of, I wasn't like, I get how it was a surprise and all, but I honestly wasn't that big of a fan, because I felt like he sort of kind of like it almost felt like it was his event, like almost like how Around the World was Norbert Van Houten's event.
Yeah.
And a problem with me, I just think it would have been way better if Weird Al was like a premium character, and we got like Bleeding Gums Murphy was in his place, and he did the he was like essentially the person who led the music event. I personally would have preferred that way more if they actually did that, but because it felt like they were just taking a celebrity cameo when they were milking it, in my opinion. But
I agree.
It still worked, I guess, but I don't know. I probably would have preferred it if he switched places with Bleeding Gums Murphy, but that's just my opinion.
See, well, Bleeding Gums is such an iconic character. He kind of got screwed over in this update. You know,
he was released.
He was released, and that was it. There was not really anything else. Like, he didn't have much of a big part for such a character that we've wanted for so long.
Yeah.
You know, we were kind of under the impression that we were never going to get him as a character, and we kind of came to accept that. And then, bam, we get him as a character, and it's kind of like, okay, you purchased the jazz hole, now you move on with your life. You know, so he really did get screwed here.
Yeah, I still think he's probably one of the. And that's why it's like, I want to say he's one of the greatest characters we've got this year, but I just feel like he's not. Like, I feel it's like in some cases I think like Senor Ding Dong's better than him.
You want to say that he is. You want to say that he is, but you'd be lying to yourself, you know.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
He's not even voiced, even though he was. I'm pretty sure he was not voiced by a guest star, so he should have been voiced, but for whatever reason, he wasn't. So.
Whatever.
Right.
Anyway.
Right then.
So County Fair update, right?
Yeah, I guess we can move on now. The County Fair update. I gotta say, straight away, I don't like this County Fair update too much. It was one of those mini updates, and I don't know. I didn't like it at all, really. We got two characters. I forgot what their names were, but they were okay actually. The costume that we got was really bad. I just say that. It was that Lisa costume, probably the worst costume we've got this year, and maybe the worst Lisa costume we've ever got. I really did not like that costume. I gotta say. The buildings, decorations and stuff we got were pretty good as well. I mean, the whole idea of this county fair update thing it's okay. I like the idea of it, but I don't know. Maybe I'm being a bit too harsh on it, but I just overall I didn't like it too much, basically. And there isn't really much to say on it, really. We didn't get a great deal of stuff that I really wanted. I mean, I really liked the crop thing where where you can grow your cornfields and all that. That was really cool. I ain't really done any designing on that yet, but I do like that kind of thing.
The Chatter Barrel Farm.
Yeah. I think that's probably the best thing about this update. But overall though, it's probably, to me, it's probably the worst mini update we've had this year. I don't know what you guys think, but that's my views on it. Really. Move on.
Shall I go?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah.
I don't want to interrupt you.
It's alright.
No, I say if we as long as we keep like all the takedown event for the Homerpalooza out of the way, because sometimes like at least the wiki anyway counts that. If we take that away, I think honestly it was it could have been better if they structured it a bit better.
Definitely.
I think Amber Dempsey is a very sort of redundant character, not a very interesting one.
No.
I didn't really, but Mary Sprinkler is a really good character. Again, it's another one of these kind of B-list, C-list characters who we've wanted, or at least I've wanted for a bit. I've wanted to see Mary Sprookler in. The problem is, the way they kind of added her, I wasn't a big fan of. Like, I don't know, this event just seemed a bit like it was thrown together again. The Lisa costume, I agree with you, Ted, it was just awful.
Yeah.
But also, we got both these characters, but both these characters were premium, and the free thing was the costume, which really annoys me when essentially we have two characters for 150 donuts. Yeah, and we don't actually have a free character. They're both premium, which is really annoying. And it would have been better if one of them was free. Plus, I think they missed a few things. Like, one big thing they missed is Lou the cow. Like, I don't understand why they didn't add Lou the cow. Like,
that would have been good.
That would have been a much better story. Even if we just got Lou the cow at the end, and the Lisa costume for free, and then the other two were premium, even that would have been better. Would have been okay. But now, like, it just seems like it seems like another character we'll probably not get, or at least we'll get. When we do get him, it'll be some sort of miscellaneous thing. But the biggest issue I had is Mary Sprookler is a perfect character for a Valentine's update. Like, just like we've never really done a Valentine's update. We've done anything for like Bart and Lisa relationships. At least I don't think we have. Oh no, there was the one with Shauna, I guess. But sure, that was 2012, so that's quite a while ago.
Yeah, that was old school.
Yeah, it would be nice if it was done like the whole romance between him, Bart and Mary. But whatever, not too big of a thing. But I think overall, yeah, it was a bit weak. It could have been, again, a bit more inclusive to inclusive, is that the right word? To for non-premium players, but whatever. What are you gonna do? So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, as I can go now. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, no, this event, it's pretty stock, in my opinion. It was pretty rushed.
Yeah.
It was pretty basic shit like in it, and it was like something that was just put together like just to replace the Homerpalooza as quick as possible, and just to have something as a stopgap.
Yeah.
And of course, that bloody costume for Lisa as well. And as I said, it is. It's something like you would expect, like a stock event, like the pavilion and things like the farm and the Cheddar Barrel farm. I mean, how else basic can you get? It's like something that you'd seen before, but you haven't in a way, and something that sort of we didn't think we wanted, but we actually didn't want. But if I'm sort of putting that right, but yeah, as Ted said, the funnest thing was the farm, and that pretty much sums it up. Because other than that, as Magnus said, we could have got the spuckler for pretty much for Valentine's, but of course. Yeah, that's how it fared out. But no, wasn't my favorite event actually. Mini event. It's probably one of the worst in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually didn't mind this one all that much. I mean, maybe because I'm from the U.S. and maybe this is just in my blood or something. I don't know, but it wasn't all that bad. I liked the concept of it. I mean, like I was mentioning before, I like kind of like specialized theme events where this one's. I mean, the music event is like a theme, but I guess I just don't like music that much. But I mean, I liked how this was based around the whole country sort of stuff. I do agree that the costume was god awful. I don't remember what episode it was from, so I was kind of wondering the entire event why Lisa's crown and her scepter look melted. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason for it, but they never mentioned anything about it. You know, I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I sort of remember the episode, but I don't know.
Yeah, it looks melted, right?
Yeah,
I
I know.
I'm sure there's a reason as to why. I just don't remember. Would have helped if they would have mentioned it. But the buildings were okay. The Fair Pavilion was all right. Like you guys were saying, Cheddar Barrel Farm was probably the most interactive and best thing that we got in the update, and it definitely was. You guys are 100% correct when you guys say that we really missed a golden opportunity to get Lou the cow. Technically, he's in the Cheddar Barrel Farm when a character is using the building or when you're crafting one of the fields. The
Oh
barn
yes,
doors open
he
and
is, isn't
he's
he?
in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, he is.
Yeah.
So technically, we do have him.
No,
I 100% agree that he would be better as a non-playable character. He should have.
I even think possibly he could have had some tasks. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think they maybe could have worked anyway, but he should have been at least an NPC.
Yeah, one of his tasks could be like to bulk up, because in the episode didn't he get like real big?
Yeah,
He definitely could have came with the Cheddar Barrel Farm, no doubt about it. The Springfield Opry House, terrible. It was just a bland building. It was just a red building with a crappy barn painted on the front. That one I absolutely didn't like. The Yield Off-Ramp Inn, I really did like. That was really cool.
Yeah,
I don't really necessarily care for the character that came with it, because like you said, she's kind of just played out and bland. But the old Off-Ramp Inn I thought was pretty cool. I don't know why we got the Turn Your Head and Coif building. That one was just kind of an oddball. That weird pink and black haircutting place. Like, what does that have to do with County Fair whatsoever? It's literally exactly like that one building we got, the Harry Shearer's building that we got literally like a couple months ago. Yeah. They're pretty much exactly the same. I mean, they have the same stupid pink and black cow design on front. So it's basically like getting another building that you already had.
Yeah.
The decorations were okay. I did like the world's biggest ribbon and the fields that we get. That was pretty cool. Although the Cheddar Barrel Combine was also really neat. I think that probably the best decoration that we got was the Paralyzer. Although that's just another thing that pisses me off that it's not in Krustyland. This one kind of gets a pass because obviously it interacts with the elementary school. Like when you click on it, one of the rockets flies off and lands in the elementary school.
That's pretty cool.
So I guess that's kind of okay. But it definitely would have been a hell of a lot cooler if it was placed in Krustyland. I mean, just looking at this thing, it looks Krustyland. Like, it looks like it would fit in perfectly over there, you know? And it just really stinks that Krustyland is forgotten.
Yeah, I know. Right?
It's just funny how so many different subjects just come around to the fact that Krustyland is just getting screwed.
Yeah.
But
it is.
for the... Yeah, it is. I mean, you can't escape the fact that it is, but and you know what? It's kind of annoying because it seems like every single update we get, there's at least one item where you're thinking to yourself, "This should go in Krustyland."
That's true.
You know,
That's true.
Every single update we've gotten, there's been at least one thing where you're like, this should go in Krustyland, and it just, it's just irritating. I completely agree that Mary Spuckler could have been saved for a Valentine's Day event. There's plenty more Spucklers they could have added. You know, they could have added so many more. But just to think that we got, I can't even remember her name. Diabetti. We got Diabetti in a Valentine's event, but we don't get Mary Spuckler in a Valentine's event.
That's what I mean.
Come on.
Like Diabetti wasn't even. I didn't even understand how she was related to Valentine's Day. Like, I didn't really understand why they gave us her.
It's not like anybody was in love with her or anything.
Exactly.
She had anything to do with anything related to Valentine's Day or love. You know, whereas Mary Spuckler is actually a character that had a relationship with Bart. So it's stupid. I mean, Amber Dempsey too. She didn't really have much to do with County Fair either. I mean, I guess she was like the
She's Little Miss
Miss Springfield thing, but that wasn't really what the update was about. It was more about County Fair, not really about Little Miss Springfield. We could have gotten a lot more farm animals. I think we could have gotten, you know, it would be cool to get that one pig that they have in The Simpsons, the one that wears the football jersey. If you guys know,
Yeah,
I mean, that'd be better for. Yeah, that'd be better for a school update or whatever they have. But I mean, this was an opportunity to get some sort of, you know, some sort of farm animals or something. But you know, give it some time. I'd be able to think of a plethora of different characters that would have been way better to get for this update. I mean, there's been so many redneck characters, and you know what? Now that I think about it, this was the perfect event to add Spud and the other Carney from the one episode where Homer and Bart lived in the fair. Oh my God, this would have been the perfect event to add those two characters. They totally missed a perfect opportunity to add two characters that if you think about it, there won't really be a better time to add those characters. I mean, it's no lie that they're running out of characters, so they have to be smart where they place the characters. And this is an event where you want to be able to give us very exclusive characters. You know, if you can think to yourself and say, well, this character could come in this update, but it would also be able to come in another update, well, then you should save that character for another update. And that's exactly what we're saying with Mary Spuckler, because Valentine's is going to come, and they're going to have no idea what to give us, and they're going to give us something stupid just like Diabetes, and it's going to be exactly like that.
Well, don't get me wrong. I actually think Valentine's Day is probably one of the safest events in terms of annual events that we have. Like St. Patrick's Day, like that is pretty awful because they're having to scrape essentially the bottom of the barrel. Like Christmas is getting smaller and smaller. Like there's obviously they're running out of ideas for Christmas. Halloween's kind of safe, but still. But I think Valentine's Day, literally, as long as they're married or going out with someone, or they've previously gone out with, been boyfriend or girlfriend with some character that we know, they could really just add them. Like I think like there's a few least, like Colin, for example. Like I guess he could also be St. Patrick's Day because he's Irish, but
I'm calling on it right now. We're getting Nancy Wiggum.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would wait, Nancy Wiggum?
Yeah, isn't that her name?
Sarah Wiggum.
Sarah Wiggum, my bad.
Yeah,
I don't know where I got Nancy from, but I'm calling it now. You heard it here first.
That was my prediction for this year's Valentine's Day, but of course I was wrong because it was Diabetes.
We got a different fatso.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, I understand what you're saying. Pretty much any character that is married to another character or has any sort of relationship with any character is, could be added. Because I guess when you get down to it, the Valentine's Day update's about like love, and so I do get what you're saying. I mean, I do agree though that St. Patrick's Day is going to be screwed in upcoming years. I think definitely Treehouse of Horror is safe. Oddly enough to say, 4th of July is safe because they just keep on adding presidents.
Yeah.
So
they just keep adding
unless Tapped Out goes past 45 years, they haven't enough stuff to use.
Yeah.
So that one's just kind of.
They only tend to do dead presidents, though. It appears, or quite well. I don't know how it goes with that because I would really like to see George Bush, but of course he's still alive, so I don't know if we're gonna get him.
I bet we get maybe Thomas Jefferson soon.
Yeah, I think
maybe
JFK.
I was gonna say JFK, but the only problem with him is that obviously he was assassinated. But I mean, so was Lincoln. So
Ronald Reagan.
Reagan would be good. He didn't die all that much long ago, though. Well, I mean, it was like 20 years. But
there again, Nixon didn't die all that long ago. Nixon didn't die all that long ago either.
True.
Yeah,
he was late 90s too.
Yeah.
You have to think of what presidents are like the goofy ones, because that's not really the goofy, but like the most standout ones, or in like specific cases, goofy one. Like with like Nixon, obviously they added him kind of to be goofy, and same with maybe Teddy Roosevelt. Like they're not going to add a president like Woodrow Wilson, if you even know who that is, And I'm not sure if you guys from the UK know U.S. presidents, but there's like a whole.
Oh really?
There's a whole bunch that are just they're just there, So adding them would obviously be stupid, and I think a criteria for adding a president would have to be that they'd have to have appeared on the show. Like I don't think they're going to add a president that never had a significant role. Although I'm not really sure what Eisenhower's role was on the show. I don't remember him.
It was a black and white like flashback, like a cutaway essentially. It wasn't very much.
Was it? Oh, and I do definitely remember Kennedy was on the show quite a few times. So who knows? Maybe we could get him next.
Yeah.
Or maybe Ford. I think Gerald Ford is probably a good contender. You guys remember Gerald Ford? He was he moved in across the street after George Bush left.
Yeah, but I think George Bush would be the best president because they could do so much with him. Obviously, the first George Bush. But they could even add like his wife, and they could add so much. Like I even think it'd be 4th of July would be perfect to add Quimby's bodyguards. Those two guys. I think that would be pretty cool. Yeah, to get them maybe as like free characters. Like they could just be a 2-in-1 character, and they could have tasks. Like they're pretty lazy at pairs and stuff. So yeah, I think it could work with those guys.
Yeah, definitely. Like a joint character would be fine. Just like have tasks like protect the mayor and stuff like that. But
I think there's one scene where they're literally just like laying down sunbathing. Like, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. So we got super off topic here.
Yeah,
Did we have any other,
it's all right.
Yeah, we went.
Did we have any other topics or?
The last.
We're going to mention the brand new episode time briefly, didn't you say? But
Yeah, well, I just thought I'd just quickly mention it because it's sort of well, I don't know. I know Nuke hasn't yet gone through it, but would you say that it's a bit of a I don't know. Is there a spoiler for the Halloween update?
no, well, no, because it's an episode tie-in, so I don't think it's a spoiler. I think if they're going to do a spoiler for Halloween, they'll do something later. If
Right.
you've gone through all the tasks with the tree guy, it does allude to something.
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
So I think possibly we may be getting a teaser probably after this thing, and then we'll probably get the teaser first. After this episode tie-in, and then we'll get the event. I presume the teaser will last a few days. And then we'll get the actual major event.
Yeah. There's like a category for him, a character category. He's the only one in it at the moment. I don't know if you've seen, but I was thinking, I guess
What
I don't know.
category is it?
It's the
Steffsons, whatever. Steffsons.
yeah. I feel like there should be more. Yeah, I guess that thing, whatever it is and the buildings and whatever that's coming to the episode time. I guess that's going to be in the first episode of season 29, because obviously this is the season 29 episode time, which is coming on Sunday. But should we talk about it briefly? I know.
Well, there's not really much more to say, really.
Yeah, we got a free character. Not free character. A character with a decoration was 60 donuts and a free building. What was good, and that's it.
Well, no, that's also decoration. The building was actually a decoration.
Oh well. Oh yeah. I guess technically it was because it wasn't.
And we're I think on the 29th we're getting a new monorail station.
Oh wow! No, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I hadn't heard about that.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the wiki page now to see the content we've got. The monorail station looks really cool.
I'm gonna check that out.
Honestly,
Awesome.
surprised and kind of confused as to why they added it. I mean, maybe this monorail is gonna be featured in the episode. The character, he looks kind of bland. He's just a tree with a mustache.
Yeah,
he's
as well.
Oh, he is. The smelling tower looks a little strange. I'm not sure where I'll even place that.
It's a bit weird. I know.
The tree statue grove. It looks very generic.
Yeah.
It just looks like a couple trees. So definitely, I don't think that'd be worth 60 donuts, especially since you're getting a character that's
it's an NPC.
Odd.
Yeah, it's an NPC.
Yeah, especially since you're not really getting much out of it. I definitely would probably spend my donuts on this monorail station because that is a lot cooler.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So I mean, I know you haven't seen it yet, Ted, but it's pretty neat. I mean,
is it right? Cool. I gotta check that
Halloween
out.
themed.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. I guess we're done now. I don't really think there's anything to add on.
We've gone on.
Yeah, good 50-odd minutes.
50 minutes.
Yeah. So after the Halloween update is obviously the Christmas update. We're not going to talk about that now. I think we'll leave that for another one. But
we're going to get Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, we've also got Thanksgiving as well, don't we? Of course.
I think we'll probably do the next one just before Christmas.
Yeah.
We've got to talk about Halloween, Thanksgiving, and anything in between.
We've also got the.
That's a good idea.
We've also got. I know DT didn't do it with his. I don't think he did he, last year? We did the awards ceremony that we did last year.
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't know.
We can always talk about that. Obviously, we can't reveal what's happening, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to revisit that. That was really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely will.
Get any more people involved, Definitely DT should collab with that.
Definitely.
It was a lot of fun.
So, I believe that's it, I guess. I think we've talked about all the latest stuff, and yeah, it's been pretty good. So, is the next... I guess it's episode 5, yeah. The next video is going to be on... it's going to be on DT's channel again, maybe? Are we going around in a big circle?
Oh, yeah.
Full circle,
yeah.
Yeah.
So, great. Awesome. So, yeah, I just want to thank you guys so much for coming along, taking your time to, come make a video with me. It's pretty awesome. It's really awesome to have you on the channel.
It's always a pleasure.
Thank you very much. And yeah, I want to also say thank you so much for everyone who's watching. I don't know if you've made it through the whole video. It's good 50-odd minutes. But that's pretty much it. Stay tuned for the next video. It's going to be on DT's channel. And make sure to check out all the other videos on everyone else's channels if you're interested on the topics that we talk about. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next one, guys. So yeah, goodbye.